So this video is front loader bearing replacement. Excuse me. So I'm posting this video to show people that the bearing replacement is not always simple. So you're not always going to get a bearing that's going to pop out. In this case, this is a Kenmore or Whirlpool, one of the two, I forget which one, where the inner drum was seized and also the bearings were seized in there. The new bearing, well, this is the new seal that I have right here for the top, and this is the outer bearing for the outer, and this is the inner bearing. I don't know if you guys can see that. So that's the inner bearing. So both of these going to go back in there. But this was not an easy job, and I don't know, I guess it's the luck of the draw. But it seems like every bearing replacement job I've done, I've always won. Damaged the shaft. Trying to get these things out of here. It seems like I always get the hard ones. As you can see, the end is kind of flared out from me whamming on it, and I don't want anybody else to go through this trying to get this out of here. So luckily I have replacement parts for this spindle right here, which is attached to this shaft. You get ones like these, man, where the shaft is seized on there, and I mean there's no other way to get it off of there other than to possibly damage the shaft. So what I would recommend is, so your shaft doesn't look like that, and I know people who've tried to replace the bearing and ran into the same problem I've ran into, and what I recommend is using some PB Blast, spraying it on the outer part of the drum and spraying it on the inner where the bearing goes, and letting it sit overnight, and then coming back at it the next day, and then possibly repeating that process until you get that bearing out of there. And I also recommend using a wider socket or something like that, preferably something almost a half-inch thick in diameter, where when you're tapping on that bearing, that it covers a greater area of the bearing, so it'll be able to push down. But normally if you tap in order to get the outer bearing, you have to flip this outer case over, tap from the inside, it kind of at a diagonal like that, and to get the inner, you tap from the inside out. But I'm making this video because I've seen so many people go in there and replace bearing, and man, hey, it looked like a walk in the park. I only wish I had a bearing replacement job like that. And some people, I'm in a used appliance business. I sell used appliances. Normally, in a normal situation, I would throw this machine away if the bearings were bad, because for one, it costs too much money to replace certain parts, and it's too time consuming. But I will do it because I'm tired of throwing away money. I'm tired of throwing my front loaders away. So the last couple of months, what I've been doing is going ahead, taking the time down, and breaking these machines down, replacing the bearings, and comparing the prices to what they might sell for in Lowe's, Home Depot, places like that, and basically trying to sell it for some sort of profit, because I think for the inner and outer bearings, I paid around $80-$90 for the whole machine. I paid somewhere around $100, maybe $80-$90. I don't remember. And you know, the spindle, if you damage the spindle like that, something like that spindle over there can cost, you know, $150, $180 easy. So I wouldn't recommend doing this if you don't know what you're doing, for one. For two, I've seen a lot of videos on YouTube where people, you know, they pop the bearings out and boop, and it pops out so easy. And that's just not the case here. As you can see, that bad baby is oily. I mean, I've sprayed a lot of PB Blast in there to get the top bearing out, not to mention the top bearing, but the inner tub. And that's why that shafts look like that. Just in case, let me walk through the procedures of how to break them down. And this is a truthful, honest video. As you guys can see, this bearing was pretty bad. It was causing water to leak out, which caused a lot of damage in here. You can see how the water was spritzing out everywhere through the back of the plate. So basically what you're going to have is you're going to have your front clip. Let's not get into technical terms. I don't know what the technical terms is, even though let's just call it a front panel. You're going to have your front panel. You're going to have your top panel, which is right here. And as you can see, this is kind of front loader it is. I believe this is a Kenmore. I don't know. I didn't pay attention. This is a Kenmore Elite. Alright, so if you have one of these washers that looks like this, Kenmore Elite bearing replacement, and it's fairly newer. It's a newer model, especially with this door. You're going to first want to take the couple of screws out of here. First, you're going to want to take the top cap off. Take the couple of screws out of here. Get you a flathead screwdriver. Pop this out. Unhook the wire harness. Take this off. Then you're going to come down here. Take off your screws down there. You're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you're going to have 7 screws throughout this top control panel that you're going to want to remove. Then you're also going to want to remove your water fabric softener dispenser, which is tied in or held in by a bracket, which has 2 screws up at the top, 2 screws at the back. Sorry for moving the camera like that. And you're going to want to set these to the back. So now we have our top control panel off. We have our front panel off. Then we go to the weight. The balance weights. Big screws in there. I don't remember if they were 10 millimeter or ½ inch. I forget, 11, 16. I don't remember exactly. But you take these 2 off. Then what I do is I go to the back. I unhook I forget what you call it, but the magnet thing and stuff like that. And then as far as right here with your clips, you're going to want to unhook the drain pump hose. Sorry, I'm going so fast. And look at that. We got plastic down in there. So basically with the bearings being like that, hold on. With the bearings being like that, it was causing the drum to hit the inside of the inner tub and basically melt that plastic and make like these little chips that came off of there. And these get caught in a pump and causes all type. And as you can see, there's another piece down there. And I can't get it out right now. But you're going to remove everything that's attached to the case, your outer tub, drum pump hoses, your water inlet hoses, which these tied to the inside.